Hey yogis, I'm Nicole. Welcome back to My Yoga Time. Today's yoga practice has been requested for musicians. However, it is suitable for everybody who wants to focus on a little bit of wrist therapy, releasing any tension in the neck, shoulders, upper back as well. And this practice doesn't include any downward dogs, any planks, so it's really therapeutic for those that are wanting to give their wrists, elbows or shoulders a break, especially if you're suffering from some ailments. So when you're ready, we'll begin. I do have 2 yoga blocks for this practice. If you don't have 2 blocks, you can improvise with a really thick book or a rolled up towel, or both will do the trick. When you're ready, we'll come down onto your back. So we're going to start in our supported bridge pose, and up to you whether you use 1 block on the flat side, you can turn it to the second height, or if it feels okay for your back, you can place 2 blocks both on the flat side on top of one another. So be mindful of the knees. We don't want them to fall out to the side. Try and keep them parallel. And if you have any concerns with your shoulders, just keep your arms by your side. And the mudra that I'll encourage you to use in today's practice is Buddhi mudra. So there we connect the tip of the pinky finger to the tip of the thumb, and the remainder of the fingers are outstretched. So Buddhi mudra corresponds to the water element in the body, so said to be therapeutic for the kidneys and the bladder, but it's also a great mudra to practice for or to improve communication. So if we're wanting to fine-tune our intuitive communication, gain a little more mental clarity, Buddhi mudra is a good one to play with. So if you have any concerns with your shoulders, just keep your arms by your side, find your mudra, tuck those shoulders under. If you have no concerns with your shoulders, we'll invite a little movement. As you inhale, float the arms above the head. Hold there while you pause the breath. And then as you exhale, float the arms back down by your side. So mindful movement with the breath. And we want the breath to initiate the movement. And we'll do one more. So then you'll have the choice to keep the arms by your side and find your mudra, or rest with the arms above the head. You might like to hold opposite elbows with the hands. Let's close the eyes down. Position the tip of the tongue where the teeth meet the roof of the mouth. And the jaw is staying relaxed, though finding a gentle tone in the back of your throat. You want to feel the breath roll over the throat. You may even hear the soothing sound of your breath. So here I'm going to count a few breaths. We're going to practice Sama Vritti, which is even breath. So we'll inhale for 5, hold for 5, exhale for 5, and hold for 5. But of course, if you're straining the breath, then ignore my count and just return to your natural rhythm. When you're ready, let's breathe out together. And inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's float those arms down if they're above the head. From here, try and squeeze the heels in towards each other and then lift the heels and your hips together. Remove your props. Keep those heels high as you lower down one vertebrae at a time. And let's take a hold of those knees. Arms as straight as you inhale and simply bend the elbows as you exhale. Now let this be a slow movement once again. A simple but very effective way to release and counter-stretch the spine. So observe the changing sensations here in the back. If you need longer with this motion, please take it. Otherwise, we're going to come to seated. So I'm going to cross at the ankles here and take a hold of my big toes and begin to rock and roll forwards and backwards. Gaining momentum to come all the way up. So just coming to a comfortable seated position. I'm going to sit up on the block. Most of us will feel better with those hips elevated. So I'm not too worried about the legs here. If crossing the legs isn't comfortable for you, feel free to straighten one or both legs. So a little bit of wrist therapy here. What I'll get you to do is bring your arms out to the side. And we're going to make fists, and then we're going to open out the hands so we're flicking. So we've got a few rounds of these to do. So just keep your jaw relaxed. And when you're ready, let's begin. Try and find a little rapid movement. Doesn't take long for the wrist to fatigue and the fingers. You might even feel one hand a little heavier than the other, a little more resistance. Well done, and let's release. Bring those hands together now, interlace the fingers and just make some gentle circular motions through the wrists. And one more to go. Arms out to the side, stretching the fingers out now. We're going to turn the wrists in and turn them out. Now let's begin. I find this one not quite as intense. And let's release. Hands to prayer now. Fingers pointing up, and then slowly turn those fingers to point down. Might be feeling a little heat in the hands. So take longer there if you need to. Otherwise, let's take those hands behind us. Interlace your fingers. Arms over to the left. Point the elbow to the left. Turn your head to the left. And then drop the ear towards the shoulder and lift the chin diagonally. You should feel this fairly quickly from the jaw down to the collarbones. And bring the head back to center now. We'll change sides. And let's bring that head back to center. Well done. So coming off your props now, if you do have those two blocks, just have them at the top side of the mat. From there, step 1 foot forward, it doesn't matter which one. Interlace those fingers, press down onto that thigh as you step your back foot up, and we'll come straight down into our ragdoll pose. So having those feet hip width apart, collecting those elbows, and feel free to sway or make figure of eights with the arms. Knees are gently bending, head is hanging. And let's settle in the middle now. So as you inhale, come halfway up, option to use your blocks or not. And then as you exhale, folding down. Coming up again, this time squeeze the heels in, engage your core and bring those arms with you. A little bend in the knees is fine. When you're ready to exhale, fold forward and ha out the breath. Inhale halfway, bring the arms. One more. Well done. Inhale halfway up. As you exhale, fold and step your left leg back, preparing for warrior 2. And here you might like to just take one block to the high side, inside that right ankle before you windmill the arms up. So pressing those feet gently away from one another here, turning those back toes in on a very slight angle. And while we're here, we're going to do a little bit of nerve tensioning. So I'll get you to turn your palms up, push the heels of the palms away from the body, try and pull the fingertips back towards the torso. Then roll your shoulders forward and down, try and move the elbows up and back a little, and you should very quickly feel a little heat or tingling down the arms. And let's take a mudra, index finger and thumb connect, roll your wrists, roll your shoulders forward and down, elbows back and up. Keep pressing those feet away from one another. Once more, palms up. Find your mudra. Well done. Release. Let's inhale, take it back. Try and lift up out of that side waist. And then as you exhale, begin to straighten that right leg. We're coming into your triangle pose, but I want you to stop halfway. So keep stretching the mat with your feet. Reach and reach as far as you can. And let's take this left hand to the low back. Try and rotate your heart and navel up towards the ceiling. Only look up if the neck permits, otherwise down to your big toe. And let's come all the way down. So find your block, or if you don't need the block, back of the palm can go to the inside of the leg. Keep trying to spiral heart and navel towards the ceiling. Resting your left hand on your lower back, you might even like to take Buddhi Mudra once again, thumb and pinky finger. Even pressure, even effort through both feet. Be with your breath. Inhale to come all the way back up. From here, we're going to pivot the feet. So if you did use your block, then take it over to the left foot now. So turning that right foot in on a very slight angle, bending in that left knee, stretching the mat with your feet. Try to lift the arch on your back foot and the kneecap. Nerve tensioning once again. Let's push through the heels of the palms, shoulders forward and down, elbows back and up. Find your mudra. Flip the palms. Last one. And release. Inhale, find space in that left side waist. And then transitioning into your triangle pose, stopping halfway, reaching as far as you can. Find your mudra with your right hand. Rotate heart and navel towards the ceiling and then lower down. Continue to press those feet away from one another, but allow the hips to be fairly neutral here. Don't focus on tucking the tailbone or curling it up. Just let the hips and pelvis be where they're most comfortable. And inhale, come all the way back up. Well done. Let's turn both toes in now so we're parallel to the short side of the mat. Take the hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Draw up the kneecaps and the arches of the feet. Lift the heart. Then as you exhale, folding forward, let's point those knuckles up towards the ceiling and feel free to keep the heels of the palms apart. So we're still stretching the mat with our feet here. They're pressing away from one another. Keep lifting the arches of the feet and the kneecaps. I'm going to do just a little release through the neck here. As you inhale, I want you to lift the chin or move it towards the mat and take your drishti forward just a little. Then as you exhale, tuck in your chin and move your neck away from your hips. And then inhale, lift the chin towards the mat, take the drishti forward. Exhale, tuck in the chin, move the back of the neck away from the hips. Let's do 2 more. Well done. Lower those hands down. You can recruit the blocks if you need to, either taking the hands under the shoulders, or if you can comfortably reach your big toes, let's pistol grip those big toes, a little bend in the elbows. And be sure to lift the shoulders up, away from the ears, up towards those hips. And here you might just like to shake the head out a little. Let's take 3 out breaths through the mouth, harring out the breath once again. And release those big toes if you have them. Walk your hands towards your right foot, so you're coming to the top of the mat. And then step the left foot up towards the right. Inhale halfway. Exhale to fold. And reverse swan dive. Let's come all the way up. Hands to the heart center. Transition the weight into the right foot as you lift the left knee up nice and high. Push the palms together, bring the shoulders down, and then tilt the body forward. We'll take a brief warrior 3, so extending that left leg out behind you, toes pointing down. Draw your navel in and try and lift a little through that inner left thigh. Inhale. And exhale, warrior 1, bend in that right knee as you place your left foot down. Now, most of us will feel better in the hips if our feet are about hip width apart. Back foot's on a much stronger angle here, those toes pointing to the front corner of the mat. Let's bring the arms out in front to shoulder height. Stretch the mat with your feet, and as you inhale, bring the arms back. As you exhale, bring the arms forward and try and round out the spine. Keep that roundedness now as you lift up. So you want to curl and bend from the middle part of your spine. As you exhale, hands float down to shoulder height. Check the position of your tongue. Inhale, arms back. Ujjayi breath. Let's do 1 more. And well done. Float those hands down to the hips, pick up that left heel and step that foot in a little bit closer now. So you've got about 1 meter distance between the feet. Still keep that same angle. A couple of choices here with the hands. Either take those arms behind you and reach for the opposite elbows with the hands. If it's available for you, you can take the hands into reverse prayer. Press into both feet. Inhale and exhale to fold. Let's take the drishti to your big toe. Lift the chin and move the throat forward. Lift the elbows. Inhale. And exhale, release the hands down to the mat. Step the left foot up towards the right. Inhale halfway. Exhale to fold, right leg back. Preparing for warrior one. Press into both feet. Keep pressing into both feet. On your next inhalation, take the arms back. Exhaling forward, rounding out the spine. Keep that roundedness, lift up from the middle part of the spine where most of us become very stiff as we get older. And let's do one more. Well done. Lower those hands down to the hips, raise that left heel. Step that back foot in about 1 meter. Same options as before, either clasp the elbows or find your reverse prayer. Press into both feet, lift the heart and the chin, and keep pressing those feet away from one another as you transition. Drishti to your big toe. Be sure to lift the elbows. From here, release those hands down, take them to the heart center, or if you need your blocks, you can use your blocks instead. So we're going to come into our warrior three on this side. So transitioning the weight into the left foot, raise the right foot, push the palms together, bring the shoulders down to the hips, tuck your tailbone, and lift your inner right thigh. Strong in that left leg as you come all the way up, lifting up this right leg as high as you comfortably can. And release, well done. So let's take another forward fold, have those feet about hip width apart. Inhale the arms up. As you exhale, swan diving forward. Now feel free to take a hold of your blocks if you need to. Bend the knees as well, a little is fine. If you can, bring your belly to meet your thighs. See if you can stand on your hands. So your toes are going to meet the creases of your wrists, and press down through the balls of the feet and try and pull the hands out. So there's a little more wrist therapy here. You might even like to gently wiggle those toes to the hip into the wrist creases. Just let the head hang. And if the elbows have got room to move, they're gently going to bend out to the side. Well done. Let's release those hands now. Step your left leg back. Coming down into a low lunge, left knee to the mat. We'll inhale those arms up. So here, instead of stretching the mat, I want you to try and draw your feet towards one another in the opposite direction. Option 1, you'll stay here in your low lunge with those arms lifted above the head. Option 2, bend your right elbow. Take your left arm out to the side, roll your left shoulder in, and then reach that left arm behind you. Maybe you can clasp the hands. So keep trying to pull right foot back, left knee forward, lift the chin, move the throat forward. Deepen your pose by deepening your breath. And let's release those hands now. Lower both hands down to frame the right foot, lift up the left knee. We're going to take a twist here. Right arm up. Here we're pressing those feet away and your back leg is strong and straight. Only look up if the neck permits, otherwise look down to your big toe. Well done. Bring that right hand down. Let's rock back a little and step your left foot up. Inhale halfway. Exhale to fold, right leg back, low lunge. Bring those arms up. Either staying here or bend that left elbow, palm in between the shoulder blades, right arm out to the side. Roll that right shoulder forward first before bending the elbow and clasping the hands. Draw the left heel back and try and drag the right knee forward. And let's release, hands down. Find your lunge, move into your twist. And lower left hand down. So, tricky transition coming up. If it's available for you, place your right knee behind and to the outside of your left heel and take a seat. And of course, you can always sit yourself up on your block here. So if you can, stack your left knee now on top of the right knee. And again, if your hips are tight, you're going to feel better sitting up on your block. If this isn't an option for you, I just simply want you to cross the legs with your left leg in front. Your feet are flexed and you're going to press those feet down into the mat. From here, let's take the arms out to the side. Cross the right arm over the left. Option 1 is here with that right arm staying straight, and you'll feel resistance between your arms and try and bring this right shoulder down. Otherwise, bend your right arm and find your bind. Press the forearms together. Press down through the outside blades of the feet. Feel your in-breath puffing out the upper back and shoulders. And let's release, well done. From here, let's lean back, find your boat pose. So straightening both, so lifting up both feet. Option to take your mudra once again. Keep breathing, keep the jaw relaxed. And let's change sides. So you're either stacking your right knee on top of the left knee or you're crossing the right leg in front of the left. Pressing down through the feet, little flexion through those feet. Arms out as you inhale and left arm over the right as you exhale. Either staying there or find your bind. Your next exhalation, release those arms down. Lean back once again, this time just uncross the legs. And we'll take those knees from side to side. Take as long as you need to with that motion. Otherwise, getting ready to wind down our practice. I'm going to use the props once again, coming into a reclined butterfly pose. Now I'm going to make a T shape with the blocks with a little bit of space in between them. So this vertical one's going to meet at the top of my shoulders. Now if you don't have the blocks, you can use your rolled up towel and take it across the shoulders instead, so it's parallel to the short side of the mat or your book. And you could also have a pillow or the towel underneath your head. So when you're ready, let's recline. And if it feels okay for your hips, bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees fall out to the side. Taking Buddhi Mudra once again, arms out to the side. And be with your breath, moving the body. And for your last 3 breaths here, let's engage Mula Bandha. So as you inhale, breathe down into the hips and thighs. Let the navel expand. Pause when you get there. And then toning out your base, drawing your navel in as you exhale. Out breath ascends. Be soft and receptive when you inhale. Find that gentle tone when you exhale. Let's turn those palms down now. Draw those knees together. Push the palms down into the mat, tuck in the chin as you come halfway up. Remove your props. And then coming down onto your back. And just taking a moment with the feet wide, knees falling into touch. Hands to rest on your navel. Let's bring the feet a little closer now. Cross the left leg over the right leg. Move your hips just a touch to the left. We're going to take a twist. Feel free to use your block underneath the knee for support. Arms out to the side. Again, feel free to take your mudra. And then lift the head, move the back of the head right, and turn your head to the left. Breathing down into the lower body, the lower belly, the lower back. Option to stay here, or option 2, you can keep the left knee on the block, just straighten your right leg underneath, and then take your right leg back, bend the knee, and see if you can reach the foot. So it's a little back bend here with a twist. If there's any discomfort or catching in your back, then return to option 1. Inhale. As you exhale, release the foot, return to your back. Centering those hips, crossing right leg over the left leg, hips just a little to the right, and then move into your twist. Adjusting the position of the head and neck. And if you did so on the other side, you can straighten your left leg now. Move your left leg back and then take a hold of the foot. And try to keep those collarbones facing the ceiling. Inhale. As you exhale, release the foot, return to your back. So just before we settle into Shavasana, take a hold of your block or your book and place it underneath your head. And just have the very edge of the block meeting the base of your skull. Tuck your shoulders under, palms to face the ceiling. Find Buddhi Mudra once again. Inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly let the head fall to the left. And as you inhale, come back to center. And ever so slowly exhale to the right. So a little self-massage here for the back of the head. One last release through the neck. Feel the back of the head roll against the block. Feel free to take a few more rounds. Otherwise, when you're ready, remove the block, coming down into Shavasana. Softening the forehead, the tongue and jaw. And taking this time to just be.